What's going on, guys? Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, daily news, what's going on in the United States, Washington, D.C., money, investing, and the $3.5 trillion stimulus package, which will be the largest stimulus package yet to date, almost twice the size of the last stimulus check package, the third stimulus check package, which was $1.9 trillion. This will be almost twice the size of that. We got a lot to cover here today. Happy Labor Day. Hope you're having a fabulous day. Let me know if you're cooking out, if you're hanging out with family, if you're doing anything special for Labor Day. So let's jump right in. If you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, and here we go. There is a large oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico after Hurricane Ida. Yeah, you can see a little bit here of it here in this picture. Cleanup crews and the U.S. Coast Guard are trying to locate the source of an oil spill spotted in the U.S. Gulf Coast, the Gulf of Mexico, after the deadly Hurricane Ida that has left over 1 million homes without power. And now we have a massive oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah. Recent satellite photos by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration show the slick about 2 miles off the port of Furchon, Louisiana. It appears to be coming from a source of an underwater offshore drilling site, the Associated Press reports. Divers have pointed to a broken pipeline as the source of the Gulf oil spill. As of late last night, have found it. And apparently it's been going for possibly 24 hours at least. And let's hope it's nothing like some of these last oil spills we've seen that went on for weeks. And if it's way down beneath, potentially thousands of feet beneath or hundreds of feet beneath the water, sometimes these things take a lot of time to fix. Yeah, divers at the site of an ongoing oil spill that appeared in the Gulf of Mexico after Hurricane Ida have identified the apparent source as 1 foot diameter pipeline displaced from a trench on the ocean floor and broken open. Two additional 4-inch pipelines were also identified in the area that are open and apparently abandoned. The company's statement did not make clear if oil was leaking from the two smaller pipelines, but satellite images reviewed by the Associated Press and satellite appear to show at least 3 different slicks in the same area, the largest drifting more than a dozen miles eastward along the Gulf Coast. At least 1,000 U.S. schools have closed since late July in a little bit over a month. Due to entire schools, over 1,000 of them have closed completely since the school has began this new school season. Yeah. Aaron Baker, a 12th grade government teacher in Oklahoma, told the Wall Street Journal that his school is struggling to find enough staff members, while many students are missing class due to infection or exposure. Baker, who is fully tested positive after only 1 week of teaching fully in person. He says, quote, "That's all it took is 5 days," said Baker, who has since returned to teaching in person. A Texas school district temporarily closed down all of its campuses after 2 teachers died in the same week from, quote, "due to a continued increase in positive cases and an increase in absences of staff and students. We have made the decision to close all campuses through Monday, September 6th," the Connolly Independent School District said in a letter to parents last week. In Minnesota parents are actually suing the governor over a lack of mask mandates in schools. And that's where a different of opinion really comes in. A lot of parents don't want mask mandates. Some parents are actually suing the governors over not having mask mandates. A lot of parents have actually pulled their kids over fear of catching, and it's being reported that a full 20 to 25% of all positive cases right now are children. The new Delta variant is no joke. is no joke, and a lot more children are testing positive right now. You just seen the article, over 1,000 schools have fully closed since school has been back in session, which really hasn't been that long, in some cases, a month. Democrats are under fire over unemployment benefits cliff has now ended. Job growth has slowed. The August job report has come out. Only 235,000 jobs were created for the entire month of August, and to pass these next two stimulus packages. And Senator Joe Manchin has said he's not sure about this next package and the price tag of this next package. And the Democrats are really under a lot of pressure, as the Republicans are just kind of sitting back and laughing at the Democrats, saying, yeah, all the pressure is on you. President Biden doubles down on the $3.5 trillion stimulus package that Senator Joe Manchin says and moderate Democrats oppose. Well, not oppose, they all voted yes on the motions to proceed, and ultimately will probably vote yes. Quote, President Biden says it's not necessarily about short term stimulus, but more about long term stimulus. There will be short term stimulus and long term stimulus in this next stimulus package, the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. The subtitle here says Biden's argument for massive spending plan, aka the next stimulus package, mirrors Manchin's comments against it, as Dems in fighting set to potentially explode this month. Yeah, Democrats are fighting amongst themselves on the price tag of the $3.5 trillion, as President Biden wants it passed immediately. Pass the damn package. Biden urges Congress to pass his economic plans, this next stimulus package and the infrastructure package, which in total would put up to or over $4 trillion of money, stimulus money and infrastructure money into the economy. Quote, our country needs these investments. Biden's comments come a day after Democratic Senator Joe Manchin called for his party to potentially delay its consideration of up to $3.5 trillion, the next stimulus package. Some Democrats are freaking out over Senator Joe Manchin's words, and the White House isn't necessarily worried. I'm more siding with, I guess, the White House's opinions here. I'm not really worried about Joe Manchin either, because I kind of do this every day. I'm kind of used to Senator Joe Manchin's games here, his political games. I kind of know how Joe Manchin works, and I've been around the block once or twice here with Joe Manchin. I feel like Joe Manchin is just kind of that he just wants the attention of the media. He wants his name in lights, and I feel like he does this every time around. He did this with the third stimulus check package. He did this with previous stimulus check packages, and ultimately he votes yes on all of them. He did this with the third stimulus check package, and he voted yes on the initial motions to proceed with the fourth stimulus check package, or the fourth stimulus package. And ultimately, I think he will vote yes as well. I don't think he's going to be the only Democrat to say no to the package. So I think he'll do a bit of grandstanding up until the final moment. And I think they'll have to negotiate with him. Isn't it kind of weird that they have to negotiate with one guy or maybe two guys? But ultimately, I think at the end, they will come to an agreement with him. Again, it's kind of weird that you have to negotiate with one person. It's kind of weird. And it's not the president that they're negotiating with. But nonetheless, the White House isn't worried about Senator Joe Manchin. So, yeah, this is as of today, Monday, September 6th. White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain told CNN Sunday, I actually had that interview for you guys yesterday on the show, that Senator Joe Manchin is very persuadable, quote, very persuadable, and suggested that Senator Joe Manchin could be won over with tweaks to the bill, aka negotiation. White House senior advisor Cedric Richmond echoed this sentiment, telling ABC this week, quote, this is just sausage making process at the end. It just happens. He added the administration was still full steam ahead on trying to get our legislation passed. And Senator Amy Klobuchar, a Democrat from Minnesota, more or less told CNN that Manchin will come around in the end, like he always does, which is pretty much exactly what I said. He has many times been willing to get to a place that's the right place to be, Klobuchar said. Which is basically exactly what I've been saying from Senator Joe Manchin, even before these most recent words of Joe Manchin. I feel like it's kind of a dog and pony show. If you've ever heard that expression, let me know if you've ever heard that expression. A dog and pony show. It's kind of a bit of a, he's putting on a show. Not that I don't think that he legitimately has some of these concerns, but I feel like he's a kind of a little bit of a media attention person, right? I mean, you know those type of people, right? Um, Let me know your thoughts on Joe Manchin. What do you think? Do you think Joe Manchin would actually be the only person to vote no and not let this package pass? Do you think that would actually happen? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. White House President Biden advisor says full steam ahead on the $3.5 trillion stimulus package, despite Senator Joe Manchin warning. I mean, it's not like they're going to suddenly stop the stimulus package because one senator has a warning on the package. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. Now, this comes as more than 7 million Americans have lost their unemployment benefits this weekend. This weekend will be their last week of unemployment benefits. Bonus pay, $300 per week. And for millions of Americans, will be their last week of unemployment benefits in total. This is because these unemployment benefits for some people will end their unemployment in its entirety. If you're over the extra weeks of unemployment benefits, the over 26 weeks, if you're over 26 weeks of unemployment for each state, and again, each state could be a little bit different, so this won't necessarily apply to everybody, but the extra unemployment weeks of 26 weeks will be ending. So, yes, millions of Americans will actually be losing all their unemployment benefits if you're over that extended extra weeks of unemployment benefits. Some states might be keeping them, so just each state might be different. So, look into each states if you're on this benefits. Now, remember, all the 25 led Republican governor states have already opted out of their unemployment benefit bonuses. Although remember, there's lots of states that have sued their Republican governors and have ongoing lawsuits. The current status of those that I have here, Maryland has sued and won. So they're actually getting their benefit bonuses. Of course, that will be ending now that all the states are ending. Indiana lost, but then they won, so their payments will continue until the end. Texas is an ongoing issue. Ohio lost, but then won, but their payments are not being reinstated yet. Oklahoma won, but then is being appealed. Florida lost. Arkansas won. Tennessee is still ongoing. South Carolina was dismissed. Louisiana lost. All these are different lawsuits for each state based on unemployment benefits. Alabama's ongoing. Missouri lost. Iowa, Idaho, and New Hampshire are all new lawsuits. So even though the unemployment benefits are over, any of these states that are ongoing, they can still go on past the expiration date because they can be made retroactive. The lawsuit can happen after the fact, and a judge, all the judges are from those particular states, a judge can say, as we see, some of these states have won, some of these states have lost. And believe it or not, a lot of times it comes down to whether the judge is a Democrat or a Republican. Believe it or not, that's actually what it comes down to sometimes. Because if you get a Democratic judge, and I'm not making this up because you could actually Look this up. If you get a Democratic judge, they're more willing to say, yeah, I do think that they should get the unemployment bonus money. And if you get a far right Republican leaning judge, a lot of times they say, no, you shouldn't get it. I can't make this stuff up, guys. And I'm not really um, putting my political opinion in there either way. I'm just telling you that this is kind of how the decisions have been made. And that's why sometimes the people have won and sometimes the people have lost versus the state. That's why we literally have some win, some loss. Can't make this stuff up, guys, because there's not really a set precedence here. It's like a 50-50. Some states have won, some states have lost. Yeah, it's crazy. But nonetheless, all the states are going to be losing their unemployment benefits right now. And Democrats are trying to decide if they can extend that, but I just don't think they're going to be able to. I don't think they're going to be able to. There's just not enough support from it. Not a single Republican from the Senate or the House will vote to extend that. To do that in the next stimulus package, they would need 100% of the senators from the Democratic side and 99% of the Democrats in the House. And I just don't think they have enough votes. I don't think 100% of them are going to do it. So, yeah, I think unemployment bonus money is going to be gone. Now, remember, regular unemployment is here to stay. That's a normal ongoing program that has been going on since 1935. So that is not going to go away. So if you lose your job, you get regular unemployment. That's a social safety net that has gone all the way back since the Great Depression. That's a great program because I mean, if you lose your job, you still need to be able to feed your family and buy food and pay your rent if regular unemployment is enough to pay your rent. But it's enough to get you by for emergency purposes to buy food and stuff, right? So you can temporarily go find another job, even if it's just for a few weeks while you go to look for another job. So that is not going away. It's just so everybody's clear here. Regular unemployment from each state is not going away. That is something that'll probably, I mean, I can't say anything for certain. Nothing is for certain in life, right? Probably never go away. That program goes all the way back since 1935. They instated that right after the Great Depression, and then it's also when Social Security was created. If you go back to the Great Depression when 1929 hit, 1930, 1931, there was no unemployment and there was also no Social Security. So if you lost your job and you were a senior and you wanted to retire, you would have had to save enough money on your own to have your own retirement at that point. So if you lost your job and you were, say, 65 at that point, if you lost your job, there was no unemployment and there was also no Social Security. There was also no Medicare. So there's no Medicare, there was no Social Security, and there was no unemployment. And there was no stimulus packages. There was no stimulus checks. There was no unemployment bonuses. There was no nothing. So imagine what the United States was like back then. Yeah. So yeah, I know I see a lot of the comments, but if you think about it now today, we've had 3 different stimulus checks: stimulus check 1, stimulus check 2, stimulus check 3. We've had unemployment bonus checks of $300 per week. We've had $600 per week when it started. We've had rent assistance. We've had mortgage assistance. We've had mortgage forbearance. We've had student loan forbearance. We've had some student loan forgiveness. We've had SNAP increases. We've had a permanent SNAP increase. We've had EBT. We've had these child tax credits of $250 to $300 monthly checks. Yeah, we've had a lot of different 3 different stimulus checks, child stimulus checks. Yeah, I'm probably missing several different things in as well. Utility assistance, the internet assistance. So if you kind of think about all the different programs that they've had so far, compared to how things used to be back in 1935, and that's really not that far ago. It's not that far ago. Um, they had nothing back then. So I think the modern day stimulus packages and stimulus checks and those type of things are all here to stay. And if you think about those three stimulus packages, stimulus checks were all passed within 1 year, within 12 months, if I think about that correctly. They were all passed within around 12 months. So when we go back to back then, there were nothing, absolutely nothing. No Social Security at all, no Medicare, no unemployment, nothing. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. So happy Labor Day from our family to yours. I will see you guys at 8 p.m. And maybe I'll have a special guest appearance for you guys in our 8 p.m. videos. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video. In the next video. In the next video.